Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Welcome to the Bhakti Shastri series on Sri Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion. Today we are going to do student presentations by our Bhakti Shastri students. So that's part of the Bhakti Shastri curriculum for students to make a presentation. It's optional, depending on the inclination of the students. So today we have one devotee, His Grace Vidagdh Madhav Prabhu, who will take us through the topic of Uttama Bhakti, the definition of Uttama Bhakti. So we'll start with Mangalacharan. I'll turn it over to Vidagdh Madhav Prabhu and he'll take us through the presentation. So you have roughly half an hour. You can, since you're the only one, it's okay. You can go a little over. Or we can do, if you're done sooner, we can do Q&A, or we can do whatever in the remaining time, or we can end sooner. No issues. So, yeah, over to you. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you for the opportunity. Let's start with Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahatana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. We want to show our regular keywords memorizations, Prabhu, or are we not doing today?
We can do it as you let me know. Should I? I'm happy to share.
Yes, Prabhu, if you can share your screen in person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's taking a few seconds to open. Do you want to do the dedication to the 6 Goswamis?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Dedication to the Shad Goswamis of Vrindavan. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamritambo Nidhi Hira Dira Jana Priyo Priyakaro Nirmatsaro Pujito Shri Chaitanya Krupa Baro Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahantarako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno Shadharma Samstapako Lokanam Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanyakaro Radha Krishna Padara Vinda Bhajana Nandena Mattaliko Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. memorization verses. Anya bilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhaktiruttama sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam hrishikena hrishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate अतः श्री कृष्ण नामादि न भवेत् ग्राह्यमिन्द्रियाय सेवोन्मुखे हि जिह्वादौ स्वयम् एव स्फुरत्यदः अनासक्तस्य विषयान् यथार्हम् उपयुञ्जत निर्बन्ध कृष्ण सम्बन्धे युक्तं वैराग्यमुच्यते Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Do you hear any background noise from my end, Prabhu? Are you good? Okay.
No, I don't hear anything. It's pretty quiet.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, devotees. Today, as part of the student presentations, we recently completed Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu from Srila Rupa Goswami, or the Nectar of Devotion from Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Paramakarna Prabhu, for giving me this opportunity and helping us in the path of Bhakti. Today, we're going to discuss about the definition of Uttama Bhakti. Let me go ahead and share my screen. What does the definition of Uttama Bhakti means? Exploring the highest form of devotion. But before going there towards the Uttama Bhakti, let's quickly discuss about what is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu translate to the ocean of the pure nectar of devotional service, and the English commentary of Srila Prabhupada, the same is named as the Nectar of Devotion. It is mainly divided into 4 parts. Just as the ocean is divided into 4 parts, there are different sections. Here, each section is called as a division, and in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, we have got 4 divisions. Just like an ocean is divided into east, south, west, and north, each of the subsections have divided, each of these sections divided into divisions, and each section or each division also have waves. Similar to how an ocean will have waves, even eastern side has different waves. Each eastern division has 4 waves. Mainly, the first division talks about the Samanya Bhakti, which is the general description of the devotional service. The second is the Sadhana Bhakti, which is related to the regulative principles for executing devotional service. And the third wave, which talks about the devotional service and ecstasy, or the Bhava. The fourth is the ultimate goal of love of Godhead, which is Prema. Now, diving into today's topic, what is Uttama Bhakti? Throughout various scriptures, especially many of us read Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke about Bhakti in a lot of verses, especially the key ones, 9.34 and 1865, Manmanamat Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskar. But are there any other verses which talks about Bhakti, Uttama Bhakti? But what is Uttama Bhakti? Srila Prabhupada in his commentary says that devotional service which is first class, which is the highest form of devotion, the topmost devotional service, which is pure. Here, today, I unofficially take liberty to take that liberty to declare the word of the day for next few minutes as pure, because we're going to discuss and hear a lot about something which is pure, especially what is pure devotion, which is nothing but Uttama Bhakti. And obviously, anything which is related to Krishna should be pure. His form, his teachings, his pastimes, his expansions, his pure devotees. And when we talk about pure and Krishna, the list goes on. Srila Rupa Goswami, the author of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, in this chapter, in the first chapter of this book, has described the unique characteristics of pure devotional service to establish the supreme position of Bhakti, as we just read a little while ago. In this eastern section, he talks about 4 different waves. The first wave talks about the Samanya Bhakti, which leads us to the 3 main components or the character of the Bhakti path: Sadhana, Bhava, and Prema. Srila Rupa Goswami, through this verse, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, first division, first chapter, 11th verse, he describes all aspects. He covers all aspects. We can say the 360 degrees of bhakti in this verse. Now let's dive deep into that verse. Let's recite everyone together. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma dhyanavritam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhaktiruttama. As part of the key verse memorization, we just read this verse, the very first verse as part of the KVMs. Here I kind of got some, as we are all walking in the path of Paramakarna Prabhu, I try to imitate what he does when he do line by line differentiation or description, describing each of the line. So if you can see, each line is one characteristic. Srila Rupa Goswami defines three main characteristics through this verse. If you see, as we are talking about the Uttama Bhakti, Bhakti Uttama, the highest Bhakti is defined as continuous service or emotions directed towards Krishna, his expansion forms or others related to him with a pleasing attitude towards Krishna. It should be devoid of desires other than the desire to please Lord, and unobstructed by impersonal jnana, the materialistic rituals of karma or other favorable acts. This verse looks simple, but it has the essential components of bhakti. As I said, it mainly talks about the three different characteristics. First thing, anyabhilashita shunyam. Our desires should be zero, like devoid of other desires. So it doesn't talk about the spiritual desires, it talks about the material desires. Jnana karmadi anavritam, not covered by any kind of spiritual philosophy, other spiritual philosophies. And here in the third line, it stresses about the word anu twice, which means the repeated practice, which is in a favorable mood towards Krishna. Now let's dive deep into this verse. And as we just discussed, like, it has three characteristics, and these three characteristics can be defined into primary and secondary. Let's start with the secondary characteristics of Uttama Bhakti, because the best always comes the last. Secondary characteristics can be also called as Tatastha Lakshana, the marginal or the Gauna Vidhis, are absence of material desires, which is Anyabhilashita Shunyam, or Jnana Karmadi and Jnana Karmadi Anavritam, which is unobstructed or uncovered by Jnana or Karma. So what does this Anyabhilashita Shunyam mean? Anya means other. Abhilashas means any kind of desires. And Abhilashita means like motive desires. It can be any kind of desires which is not spiritual. Spiritual which is not inclined towards Krishna. Anything which is material desire should be zero. We should all be devoid of material desires. All our desires should be helping towards the bhakti, to serve or please, worship or to meditate on Krishna. Absolutely, this verse tells us that absolutely there shouldn't be any kind of desires for self, irrespective of time, place, circumstances. And in one of his lectures, Haripashad Prabhu said that, can we really do this without any desires? Well, this is the definition which Srila Rupa Goswami gave. Definition, irrespective of whether one can do it or not, the definition can't be changed. The equation will still remain the same. We can try with utmost attention. When we do a science experiment, I mean, probably the accurate mark is 10 out of 10. Like, probably we might be able to, one might be able to reach out to 9.8 at 9.9 if we try hard with our focus and attention. Same applies here for bhakti as well. If we dedicate our mind, our body, mind, words, action, everything towards Krishna, probably one might be able to reach towards Krishna. And the second one under the secondary characteristics is Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. So what does it mean? Jnana means knowledge. Here in this verse, in this line, it talks about the jnana, which is impersonal philosophy, which is any kind of speculation. It shouldn't be any kind of inquiry concerning impersonal Brahman. And it also talks about karma, any kind of fruitive activities, not the ones, not the one activities or activities which gives pleasure to Krishna, which are pleasing to Krishna. We should still continue activities which are pleasing towards Krishna. It says Adi, which means etc. It covers a large group. It does not only covers Vairagya, Sakya, Yogic, mystic sacrifices, etc. It covers anything which is material. It can be in the past, it can be present, it can be in the future. Anavritam, not covered. If we carefully observe these two lines, one says Anyabhilashita Shunyam, and the second one says Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. Why does Srila Rupa Goswami uses Anavritam instead of Shunyam? Here, because some jnana and karma are required. The jnana which is about Krishna, and karma, the activities which we perform towards Krishna, are still required. We should have that knowledge. We should do those activities. And because Krishna, throughout Bhagavad Gita and multiple places, Krishna mentioned about this. One such reference is about Bhagavad Gita 4.9, Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take this birth again in this material world. So, similar to a pure stream of water represent Uttama Bhakti, while Anyabhilashita Shunyam and Jnana Karmadi Anavritam ensure there are no pollutants or obstructions in the stream. Now, you may take 1 minute or 10 seconds just to think about these two lines. Consider areas in your life where material desires may hinder your spiritual progress. How can you cultivate a more selfless approach to devotion? Or think of a recent challenge where your devotion was tested by material desires. And how did you navigate the situation with the focus on Uttama Bhakti? We are all material beings. We are all conditioned souls. Challenges will come, but how can we overcome that? Think of a moment where you have recently encountered such challenge and tested by such material desires. With that, moving on to the primary characteristics of Uttama Bhakti. Primary characteristics of Uttama Bhakti, as we just discussed about the secondary characteristics. Now, the Tatastha Lakshana. Now we are going to discuss about the Swarupa Lakshana, or the primary, the constitutional, the fundamental characteristics, which is called as the Mukhya Vidhis. Here, in the third and the most important line here is Anukulyana Krishnanu Shilanam. Anukulyana, what does it mean? Activities which are favorable and repeated practice of any act of bhakti, where Krishna can get pleasure from it. Devotee's attitude should be unfavorable towards Krishna. And there is another line in this verse called about Anushilanam. But how do we know what Krishna likes? And obviously, through scriptures. Again, I want to quote few verses from Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says that in 9.26, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayastiti. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, fruit, or water, I'll accept it. Similarly, in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse number 27, he says that Yat Karoshi, Yat Yasnasi, Yat Juhosi, Dadashi, Yat Tapasyasi, Kaunteya. Whatever we do, whatever we eat, if we can offer or give away those austerities or to perform with a pleasing attitude, like Krishna will accept it. Here, the word Shilanam is if you can carefully observe the word Shilanam, it has a deeper meaning in it. The word sil is a twofold. pravritti atmika, I mean, which has expressing action. There is pravritti and nivritti. It talks about the actions and the emotions. Action is something which we are expressing, and non-action is something which is internal, which is something absorbed. Actions are something like a, an act of worship, acting to serve, act of practice. And nivritti is something which is internally absorbed. And here the word anu is we need to stress on that word, like which is anu is something like repeated or continuous service. And the word anushilanam or continuous service has an active form, which is chesta rupa, using the body, words, and mind. Like as Brahmakarna Prabhu always quotes, like BMW, our body, mind, and words, our activities, actions, attitude towards Krishna. And an emotional form, which is the bhava rupa, consisting of an affection, preeti, towards Krishna. Shilanam, it can be an act, a practice, meditating in various ways, and emotions. It can be love in union or separation. And Srila Rupa Goswami and various acharyas quotes these wonderful references from Srimad Bhagavatam, where demons like Kamsa, Shishupal, Chanura, Mushtika fought with Krishna, and Krishna got that pleasure. And especially demons like Kamsa and Shishupal were constantly thinking about Krishna. Are their activities is favorable towards Krishna? Are there anukul or pratikul? Obviously, they are pratikul. And in Damodar Lila pastime, Mother Yashoda keeps Krishna aside. When as the milk was overboiling, she goes to kitchen, and Krishna was so angry. And the same thing happened when Mother Yashoda ties to the ground, to the motor. We have seen, like, Krishna was so angry, but the Mother Yashoda's attitude towards Krishna is very pleasing, and Krishna accepted that, because Mother Yashoda had a favorable attitude, while the demons are full of anger and grudge on Krishna. What is that we can take out of this verse? And ideally, the intention matters. Whatever activities, actions we perform with the right attitude, that should give pleasure to Krishna, and any kind of activity or action should please Krishna. And as we just discussed about the word anu, reason it was stressed here, it is not only the activities towards Krishna. If we can follow our previous acharyas with focus and dedication, that will also give pleasure to Krishna. Similar to a river flows towards an ocean, a devotee should allow one's actions and emotions to flow naturally towards Krishna, pleasing him at every turn. Now again, call to action. Think for a moment on how you practice pleasing attitude in your daily life. How can you enhance this aspect of your devotion? How can we integrate more moments of continuous service to Krishna throughout your day? Everyone are doing some kind of activity or service towards Krishna. How can we continuously serve to Krishna throughout the day? Now that we have discussed about the secondary characteristics, the Tatastha Lakshana, and the Swarupa Lakshana, the primary characteristics, the Gauna Vidhi and the Mukhya Vidhi, what is the difference between the primary and the secondary? Ultimately, the Uttama Bhakti integrates both primary and secondary characteristics to form pure devotion, focusing on pleasing Krishna continuously, which is free from material desires, jnana and karma. And now that we have read about the characteristics, the rule, and the rule here is Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam. The rule can't be negotiable. The rule is for everyone. The other two can be negotiable, and there might be exceptions, not for us. And there is one such pastime from Srimad Bhagavatam where we read about Dhruva Maharaj, and from Paramakarna Prabhu's lecture, we heard about Dhruva Maharaj had some material desires, He was not satisfied with his stepmother. He did get proper attention from his father. So he went to forest when he was 5. He had material desires. But was he not a pure devotee? No, he was a pure devotee. Can we draw some inspiration from him? No, because in order to imitate, we need to imitate like him in prayers, because he was continuously meditating on Lord Krishna for 6 months without any proper food. Probably the mood should be like that. Like, can we only when we will be able to imitate like that, the second exception we might get second exception. And now we discussed about the 360 degrees of the concept of the Uttama Bhakti from Rupa Goswami. There are other verses which Rupa Goswami quoted in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. We'll move on to that slide. Okay. Prabhu, I got this verse from your slides. So if you see the next verse where we just recited as part of the key verse memorization, the very next verse, the 12th verse, Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam Tat Paratvena Nirmalam Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. Prabhu has put a wonderful table here where you can see the word to word and the respective meanings. Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam maps to Anyabhilashita Shunyam, which means giving up desires for upadhis, any kind of material designations. Tat Paratvena maps to Anukulyana, the activities or actions favorable to the object Krishna. Nirmalam, Jnana Karmadi Anavritam, no mala, unwanted stuff. That is unwanted processes such as jnana and karma. We need to think about anything which covers with unwanted jnana and karma. We should get rid of it. Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam maps to Krishna Anushilan. Activities are performing seva of Krishna with our bodily senses, active engagement. As we just discussed, like worship, assisting other devotees in worship, meditating, etc. Ultimately, Bhaktir Uchyate, Bhakti Uttama, that is called Bhakti. And there is another verse which Srila Rupa Goswami mentions, talks about from Srimad Bhagavatam. This I got from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Shubhodhini, that Bhavan Darshan Prabhu quoted. Here it mainly talks about Ahaituki Avyavahita, which means bhakti unto Krishna should be without any cause or without any material desires. In bhakti shouldn't be contaminated by jnana or karma. Pretty much what we discussed in verse number 11 and the previous verse 12. So, and not only that, the pure devotees will not accept any kind of liberations like Salokya, Sharishti, Sarupya, Samipya, or oneness with the Lord, even if he offers them. Even Krishna offers them these kind of 4 liberations. They prefer to serve him, and that is the purity of the Bhakti Yoga, which is the highest object of human pursuit. Now that we have discussed the definition or the characteristics of Bhakti, let's see what are the types of Bhakti. The types of Bhakti, towards the introduction, we talked about the Samanya, Sadhana, Bhava, Prema, the 4 waves in this. The first one is Sadhana, the devotional service and practice. The second one is Bhava, which is devotional service and ecstasy. And Prema Bhakti, which is devotional service and pure love. So we also read this lecture about, is Sadhana Bhakti also Uttama Bhakti? Though it is in the initial stages of on the path of the Bhakti, can Sadhana Bhakti still be called as Uttama Bhakti? And we heard about a wonderful analogy or an example, quoting cooking example, purchasing groceries as part of cooking, or only stirring the pot, adding the ingredients and making sure when before the final dish is getting ready, only stirring the pot is only called cooking. No, the end-to-end process, every activity involved is part of cooking. Ultimately, the end result, the cooking is not complete until the final step is is completed. Same applies to bhakti as well. Sadhya is not yet obtained until we reach the prema stage. And we've read in BRS, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, where Rupa Goswami quotes one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 3, verse number 31. I'm just going to quote third line, Bhaktya Sanjayate Bhaktya, which means bhakti gives rise to bhakti. Bhakti which aims at achieving bhakti is proper, and bhakti which aims at achieving other goals is improper. Same thing which we read about the gnana and karma. Bhakti which aims at achieving bhakti is proper. In sadhana bhakti, any activity which is helping us to move forward on the path of bhakti is also bhakti, because sadhana gives rise to prema bhakti. And we heard about the cooking analogy, similar to purchasing groceries for cooking, making sure selecting the right ingredients. And when we want to make a wonderful dish, we know what kind of ingredients we want to choose. Like, we don't want the unwanted ingredients. Similarly, we don't want the speculative knowledge. Like, let's just ignore those kind of knowledge. And similarly, when we want to make a dish we want to relish, we select the right kind of ingredients. And once we got the right kind of ingredients, we gradually prepare and organize all the ingredients before cooking, and ensuring nothing unnecessary is included when in the process of cooking. And when someone is cooking, we cook with complete focus and dedication, so that we want the dish to not get spoiled. Same applies here. When we do the sadhana, we shouldn't have any kind of distractions. We shouldn't have any kind of obstructions. We shouldn't have any kind of unwanted jnana or activities which might hinder our bhakti. So here you can see in the two boxes, the Uttama Bhakti may be broadly classified into two sections or two types. One is sadhana and sadhya. Sadhana or devotional service and practice, and devotional service and perfection. Then why is Bhava Bhakti is separated? Here, Bhava Bhakti is not separated, but it's still part of the sadhya. Bhava contains a direct realization of Krishna, but we are still not there. Bhava is kind of the goal of sadhana. And there is clear distinguish, like we can clearly distinguish between Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti, because even at the Bhava stage, there are some impurities, anarthas or aparadas still exist in Bhava. We are almost there, but not there. And ultimately, the pure love of Godhead is the Prema Bhakti, is certainly Uttama Bhakti, which represents the culmination of the devotional process, where the devotee's love for Krishna is fully matured and unalloyed. Now that we have read about Uttama Bhakti, types of Uttama Bhakti, various definitions of Uttama Bhakti, the characteristics of Uttama Bhakti, what is that we have learned about it? Like, how can we practically apply this verse to us or to our path of Bhakti? Ultimately, even if we see verse number 11, 12, or references from Srimad Bhagavatam or Narada Pancharatra, all the verses talks about the three main characteristics we've discussed. One is to engage ourselves continuously in service to Krishna and his devotees, as we have seen, Anukulyana Krishna Anushilanam, to ensure our actions are always pleasing to Krishna, to purify our hearts from any kind of material desires, Anyabhilashita Shunyam, to focus solely on our loving service to Krishna, unobstructed by any other pursuits. Now, what is that we can take away? What are the key takeaways about Uttama Bhakti? Well, there are multiple takeaways. Let's dive one after the other. Ultimately, Anukulyana Krishna Anushilanam, which is like our activities should be pleasing Krishna. Focus on activities that bring joy to Krishna. And the second one, Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. Our devotion should be unmixed. It shouldn't have any kind of impersonal knowledge or the karmic activities or material desires. And third one is renounce all other desires, like anya abhilashita shunya. Eliminate. One should eliminate all desires except the desire to serve Krishna. And ultimately, the uttama bhakti. Our bhakti should be exclusive and continuous. It's a repeated process. One need to maintain an uninterrupted and pure devotion to Krishna. So which makes our bhakti should be pure. As you can see, Uttama Bhakti is a journey of the heart, which brings one closer to Krishna with every step. Like every step we make towards Krishna, it's a progress towards reaching the prema. Maybe not in this lifetime, after multiple lifetimes. If the journey has started, probably at one point of time, we might reach there. If we can embody these principles in our daily sadhana, we can aspire to achieve the highest form of devotional service, Uttama Bhakti, and deepen our connection with Krishna. When I'm meditating this verse, I've got a lot of insights through Prabhu's teachings and various acharyas' writings. I just want to make a note here, a request here. Let us all take inspiration from this verse and the teachings of our acharyas to deepen our devotion and love for Krishna, making our lives a continuous offering of pure and unalloyed bhakti. Hare Krishna. Feel free to share any questions or reflections you might have had from this session. Also, please excuse me if I made any mistakes unknowingly or unknowingly. Thank you, Paramakarna Prabhu, for this wonderful opportunity and time. Obviously, which helped me to contemplate on this verse, like such a great verse by Srila Rupa Goswami on his writings and teachings from Rupa Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, and various senior acharyas. Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Very nice presentation, Prabhu. I'm really, I was absorbed in hearing, and many points were coming to my mind that, oh, he didn't say this, or he missed this. Then you said that in the next few minutes. So you covered like full 360-degree view of this verse. I really loved your presentation. Very well done.
Sorry, Prabhu. All I had was 2 days. Like that, I don't want to call it as an excuse, but again, even if I do next week, probably the preparation might be same. But again, it's about my intelligence, my time, and other desires, which might be I'm still lacking. I'm a conditioned soul, but I'm trying. Prabhu. Thank you for your wonderful guidance.
Thank you. Very nice presentation. Other devotees, any questions, comments, reflections?
Okay, can I go, Prabhuji? I just want to say a few good words. Already you covered, Prabhuji, as you said, it was very extensive explanation of the Uttama Bhakti, the verse explained by Sri Rupa Goswami ji and all. And with Madhav Prabhuji is kind of a, we know that he likes the that giving the verse like the pure, which will put in the impression of our mind. So I know that Vidak Babu always bring these points and abbreviations which will stick with our mind. So it will be easy to learn or easy to be remember always. So thank you very much, Vidak Mother Prabhu. It was a very nice presentations given, and always we learn something from you. So definitely we will also try to give the same or similar kind of presentation. Thank you very much.
Also, Prabhu, I would like to extend my thank you to Sarva Shakti Mataji, who kindly, just before the session, an hour back, I was able to quickly practice my session so that she gave me some suggestions on include some analogies from Srimad Bhagavatam or past tense. And thank you for Sarva Shakti Mataji for listening, kindly listening and dedicating your time and suggesting some inputs and corrections. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Sorry, Prabhu.
Very nice. Good teamwork. Yes, Makrand Prabhu. You are on mute.
Thank you, Vidagmata Prabhuji. It was a fantastic presentation. I just have one confusion, if you could a little bit clarify that. In this shloka Anabhilasha Shunyam, the third line says Gyan Karmadi Anavratam. So my understanding of the word Anavratam is like opening a curtain, kind of. We often use this word Murti ka anavaran kiya, means exposed the murti, or pulled the curtain so that something could be seen. So that is how I always understood this word anavratam. But here it is coming into giving us a slightly different context. Gyan karmadi anavratam. It is kind of asking that the material activities, the fruitive activities, and the impersonalist philosophy, that should be avoided. So this line, I'm not able to gel this line properly in my mind. Gyan karmadi anavratam. So how it is on anavratam says it is exposing. So, and otherwise it is saying it should be suppressed, not exposed. Are you getting what I am trying to say?
Yes, Prabhu.
So can you throw some light on this, that how I should understand this?
So, can you see my screen, Prabhu?
Yes, please, I can.
Okay. So the same verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 19, verse number 167, Srila Prabhupada translates that anavritam as not covered.
Not covered.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is the confusion in my mind, because normally anavratam means, it means uncovering. Uncovering. Not covered means dhaka hua. I mean, it's, not covered means exposed, right? Not covered, we can say it is exposed. So, Gyan Karmadi Anavratam would mean the philosophy of the Gyan, or the impersonalist philosophy, and the material, fruitive activities are exposed. So this I could not understand how we derive this meaning,
So, Vidagmata Prabhu, are you able to?
I would like to take your help, Prabhu.
Yeah.
To explain it better.
Actually, this question has been going on in my mind, but today when it again came in front of me, I felt like asking it.
So, very good question. And anavritam, you are very correct. And if, like Vidagmata Prabhu also showed, not covered, which is also the same.
Right.
You are just mixing up the object and the subject. So it is the bhakti which is getting exposed, the uttama bhakti which is getting exposed. The curtains are jnana and karma and adi. To be able to expose uttama bhakti, you have to remove the curtain of jnana and karma. Otherwise, jnana and karma are usually such curtains which keep bhakti hidden. So bhakti is the object to be exposed, not gyan and karma are the ones that need to be exposed and brought to light. They are the ones that need to be removed, like to see the murti of the Lord, to see the deity, you have to remove the curtains and hide the curtains, so to say. And the object that is exposed is the deity. Similarly, you have to remove the curtains of gyan and karma which are usually there, and therefore you cannot see Uttama Bhakti. Once you remove them, then you see Uttama Bhakti. Otherwise, what is only present is Jnana and Karma. But they are there, even though they are in a hidden way, like Vidagdha Madhav Prabhu explained. They have to be there because Jnana about Krishna is fine. But when we overexpose or utilize the Jnana and take it into the impersonal Jnana, that is what need to be put aside. That should not become the covering. Because if that is the understanding, it will cover bhakti. Because Gyan says that you must be completely detached from everything. And then one can come to the conclusion that, oh, I must be detached from dressing the deity very beautifully with maybe gold ornaments. I don't have anything to do with gold. Take it away. If somebody brings golden ornaments for the deity, we can reject it. We should not do that. We can use it for the seva of Bhagavan. So that is bhakti. So, we need to remove the curtains of jnana and karma to expose Uttama Bhakti. It is not like saying that Jnana and Karma are to be exposed or to be brought to light. Uttama Bhakti needs to be brought to light.
Clear, Prabhuji. It's very clear to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
More questions, comments to Vidagdha Madhav Prabhu? Yes, Shri Murari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, first of all, to you and facilitating the student presentations. And first, I would like to echo what Ashish Vyas Prabhu said and to thank Vidagdha Madhav Prabhu's presentation. It was a reinforcing, really. It's a very good presentation, enjoyed it. Second point, I just wanted to see if I got it correct also. On Makarand Prabhu's question on Anavritam, I was thinking probably can we also think as we shouldn't be exposed to impersonal philosophy. Can we also understand that way when by the word Anavritam? Of course, in this material body, material world, we are in, and we are involved in the material activities and so on. But to what you said, can the secondary understanding of the Anavritam could also mean that we should not expose ourselves, or we should try to not expose ourselves to the material world or impersonal philosophy and material activities.
Go ahead, Vidagdha Madhav.
Thank you very much.
Want to try answering that?
Sorry, Prabhu. I'm not sure if I got completely. Can you repeat if you don't mind, Prabhu?
So, Prabhuji, I was saying that the Anavritam could also mean, I'm asking question basically, could also, can this also mean that our exposure to impersonal knowledge or philosophy and material activities should be limited? I mean, exposure, not exposure to, I was thinking, is that also other way of understanding to what Prabhu already clarified.
If I understood correctly, Prabhu, exposed in the sense like we shouldn't need to know about those impersonal knowledge.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, exposed or not exposed.
Yeah, my friend Prabhu was mentioning that anavrita means not exposed. That means opening up or curtain. So we should not be exposed to spiritual or sorry, impersonal philosophy. So we have to take care, we have to make sure that we are not exposed to that philosophy, which is impersonal.
Not sure if I can use the right analogy. Probably if you can see the clouds analogy, I mean, once we get the cloud, the sunlight, the sunlight will be obstructed, right? And if I see, Srila Prabhupada's translation as not covered, we shouldn't get covered by the gnana or the karma, the materialistic aspect of it. We shouldn't be covered by that. Only when we are not covered by that, it makes our that is the secondary characteristics, I can say. I'm not sure, Prabhu, if I'm
Yeah.
in line.
No, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
Paramakarna Prabhu, please help me if you can.
You're right. And bhakti is in our heart. Okay. So we have to make sure that the impersonal jnana or karma kanda or the activities of karma that we are doing, like say aropa siddha bhakti, etc., which are not uttama bhakti, are not covering the bhakti in our heart. Okay, so that covering needs to be removed. Curtain of that need to be opened, then the uttama bhakti will become visible, will come out. Now, whether we cover or whether we prevent our bhakti in our heart to be exposed to that, or to be, to prevent it from being covered by that, whether we close our ears is one thing that we should not even hear, then yes, it will not go in our heart. Or even if it goes in our ears, if we are having a stronger mind, the mind is closed to those philosophies, and mentally we are able to reject, we are able to discriminate using our intelligence that, oh, this philosophy is impersonal or something, and by the strength of the mind, we can cover or prevent our bhakti, the uttama bhakti in our heart, from being covered by such exposure. Okay, so it doesn't mean that, it is all about when you said, should we prevent ourselves from getting exposed to such philosophy? It depends on at what level. Is it physically? Yes, if it even takes some willpower to cover your ears. Maybe somebody is giving you some very good, in a sweet way, the same impersonal philosophy, and you think it is bhakti, but it has the elements of, impersonalism in it. That is something your intelligence needs to decide. Or maybe somebody is just being your friend, maybe giving you or offering you good prashadam, or speaking sweet words, or, helping you in your, material things, like, maybe gave you a job or whatever, things, gave you gifts, and then is then trying to influence you with impersonal knowledge, and you are not able to exit physically from that situation. So you are getting entangled at that point. So you have to have some strength to cover yourself, or to prevent yourself from getting exposed to such things, to make sure that the uttama bhakti in your heart is not ultimately getting covered by such thoughts or by such propensities. So one way or the other, yes, you have to prevent that those curtains don't come and cover you, whether those curtains are within your own mind or being cast by others from outside.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Any other comments or reflections, questions to Vidagdha Madhav Prabhu? So I have one question, Vidagdha Madhav Prabhu, if there's no one else. My question to you is, what was your experience in going through this exercise of preparing? I can say from my own experience how much I benefit by preparing to give a class. I know that it is, a little bit of stressful and sometimes even panic, and all those things are there. And oh my God, I'll get exposed, what a, fool I am sometimes, or what to say, and where's my cheat sheet. It's, all those things happen, but end of the day, what was your experience of the whole process? And let's, like in a survey, would you recommend it to a friend on a scale of 1 to 10? And would you do it again? And all those things, like, could you share what you got out of it?
Obviously, you say pravriti and nivriti, right, Prabhu? I'm not sure if it is the right word. So obviously, I'll give 10 out of 10. Again, we always have, not we, the majority might have fear to come in front of camera or speaking, because speaking in general is different, or giving a lecture is different. And obviously, when we give a lecture, it should be authentic. It should be referred from a scripture. We can't speculate something and see something, because we should be extra cautious when we say something, especially if it is getting recorded, and making sure you are giving an advice, like, because that might mislead others also, right? It shouldn't mislead others. And obviously, when we are in a sampradaya, we should be in line with that sampradaya. That is one aspect. And personally, when we research, like it is like in general, when we do a research for a project, this is also relishing. Obviously, we read Srila Prabhupada's commentary. On top of it, we refer various other acharyas, like Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's point of view, Baldev Vidya Bhushan. Not in general, like for this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, in general, same like for Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, we have Jiva Goswami's commentary. Obviously, the more the better. You can get different flavors or point of views, how various acharyas have thought about it. And obviously, there are multiple analogies, like no analogy is wrong, or nothing is wrong, right? Ultimately, it is in line with the words and the teachings of acharyas. And definitely, I thoroughly enjoyed, like, but only thing is, the fear factor is always there, but only when we come out of a comfort zone, we grow, whether it is material aspects or the spiritual aspect of our path of the bhakti.
What did you gain from this exercise?
And definitely, if I generally read for exam, probably it's just an exam. And I might not forget this, because I'm not sure if I can forget. Like, definitely, the verse registered well in my mind. And each line by line, or again line by line, word by word, again word is broken down into multiple pieces, like the twofold meanings of sil, and a lot more, probably. And contemplating more, and how ultimately it will help me on improving my bhakti, and how to serve better to Krishna.
So somebody, let's say, is feeling shy in doing this, what would you tell that devotee in making a presentation? How would you encourage them?
Success, sure. Success begins only when we step out of our comfort zone. Like, that might be a material aspect of code, but I strongly believe, even I'm still an introvert, but I just want to make sure come out of my comfort zone, irrespective of whether I do a week later or a month later. It's going to be the procrastination will always be there. And obviously, when it is needed to when it is needed, obviously one will do it. And I advise, like, everyone can come forward. Like, I myself, when I did it, everyone can do it. That's what I can say.
You're being very modest.
No,
thank you. Okay, wonderful. Very nice presentation, very nice questions. Hard questions, I guess. And don't other devotees, don't get don't feel like, oh, there'll be all these hard questions and I won't be able to tackle them. Don't worry about that. This is a very friendly group. So yeah.
I came prepared with that lifeline option, Prabhu. Phone up, karna, Prabhu. Phone.
Okay. I'm not sure if my answers made sense either, but yeah. Radhakanta Prabhu, you've got your hand up.
Yes, Prabhuji. I just wanted to appreciate Vidak Madhav Prabhu. I think it's amazing I can see the amount of preparation you would have done, which is it's on for the follow your course. Thank you for putting in so much of effort to give us a very clear idea about this course. Yeah, thank you. You set a really high standard for us to follow, I can say.
Very nice. So yeah, the best way to learn something is to teach it. There is those who do this kind of presentation have full realization of this sentence. And whatever you teach, you will remember yourself. Your students may or may not remember, depending on how attentively they have heard, but you will remember. So it's very personal, a lot of personal benefit is there, and that's why this is encouraged. So there is still a chance, by tomorrow, please put in your name in the spreadsheet if you want to do a topic, and then I will go ahead and schedule. And please try to be flexible, and yes, put in the time to do the preparation and present. For a 20-minute presentation, you don't need that much time, so don't try to make it a long presentation. Today we had more time, so Vidagdha Madhav Prabhu could go longer, but we'll try to stick to the 20-minute time limit, and you don't need that much preparation to prepare a 20-minute talk. So please try it out and don't feel shy or afraid. So that's what I would say. We'll end it here if there are no other questions or comments. And yeah, there's something on the chat. Okay. Yeah, just appreciation. Thank you. Okay. Okay, we'll end it here. We'll see you all. Tomorrow we will not have a class because we have Arangetram of Shibani, who's our very dear, devotee youth, daughter of Manasi Ganga Mataji. And we'll see you all on Tuesday for more student presentations. All right. Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Srila
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Excellent presentation, Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Very nice.
Okay.